Hello everybody and welcome to another multiple apps workflow tutorial with me, Elderin from Logiciel Lumiere. Today we're finally going to be going into Motionbuilder, manipulating BVH motions and applying them to our characters and bringing them back in Cinema 4D and seeing how that workflow works to quickly get a scene together and work with our characters fast. Alright, this is an overview of our project for this chapter, you know, Motionbuilder is an amazingly powerful motion capture software. Once we get into it, you'll see that, I mean, in comparison to, you know, Maya and 3ds Max and Cinema 4D, I mean, the beauty of the rig in Motionbuilder is just unparalleled. I mean, the FK and IK, it's just so easy to manipulate your joints, move characters around, importing in BVH files, and then applying them in a way that can be used on any character, any size, any shape. It's just amazing. Motionbuilder is primarily a visualization tool, and when I was learning about previsualization, you know, I mean, the word, you know, you break it down, it's, you know, it's a pre-visual of, you know, what your ultimate final scene is going to be. And for a while, I didn't get it. I didn't understand what that meant. But basically, what Motionbuilder allows you to do is, if you come into Cinema 4D here, you can create a scene. And the way Motionbuilder works into the pipeline is you'll create a scene here in Cinema 4D, and I recently did a 3D animation for a client, and I created, you know, as an example, you know, you might create like a, you know, a high quality V-Ray scene, and then you might import characters in here. Or you might create a, you know, a high quality advanced render scene with, you know, GI and beautiful lighting and, you know, the whole 9 yards. But you know, for actually doing motion and actually, you know, getting characters move and whatnot, that's a pretty intense process in itself, and you don't really want to work in a program like Cinema 4D per se. Even though Cinema 4D's got great tools like the character object, which I've been playing around with a lot over the last couple of months. And it's got great tools like C-Motion, and I've also been working on rigging for you guys. I've been trying to really get down the weighting tools in Cinema 4D because there's not a lot of tutorials that really go over a great depth on how to do the weighting. We're going to see how we can actually apply a Cinema 4D skeleton into our characters in a later tutorial. But yeah, you don't want to come into Cinema 4D per se, especially not with your dad's character. If we go ahead and open up Testa here, and we're going to open up our Testa edit version. As you recall in the last tutorial, we created 2 versions of Testa. We have, you know, our production ready version of Testa, who will be used when we want to, you know, create an XREF, or if we want to just merge her simply into a scene, and we want to and we don't want any of this extra stuff that we have in our edit take. For instance, you know, our poses. The poses are kind of heavy. We don't necessarily need to export those or import those into, you know, another, you know, polygon-rich 3-bedroom scene, townhome scene, or something like that in Cinema 4D. We just want basically the character and the skins and whatever cached animations that we have, so that we can quickly get in there and, you know, animate and then, you know, send this out to our render farm or render it out on our machine here. That being the case, in this edit scene, we've got this this bone system, and even though, like I've said in previous tutorials, you know, the DAS system comes in with really great weights and all, there are a few issues with it. Namely, you have no controls There are no animation controls whatsoever on this rig. You would have to create all those from scratch. And the other thing is there's no IK system on this rig. In order to animate here in Cinema 4D, we would have to use our rotate tool. This is completely an FK system. We have to use our rotation tool, and I really love DAS's naming conventions and all. It really makes it easy to really get around and really animate the correct areas of our rig, but still it's not going to provide us any of the power that a true FK system like Cinema 4D's character motion, or 3ds Max's cat tools, or 3ds Max's character studio biped tools, or Messiah, or any other 3D animation package that you use that has FK IK controls. It's not going to provide us nearly the kind of power that we're looking for. This might work okay for some posing, but even with posing, it's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be very time efficient. Also, when you're considering pre-visualization, it's just not going to allow us the kind of control we need to be able to pre-visualize with real-world footage. Pre-visualization is a process that includes the real world as well. With your motion capture studios, your Connect, or your 6-cam setups with the black suits and the reflective dots, and those kind of systems, you're basically pre-visualizing out what you want your 3D models, or what you want your 3D scene concept to do. You're pre-acting it, and you're bringing those assets in, and you're using them as a basis to kind of sort of visualize your scene prior to actually doing the final render, prior to actually creating your true visualization. Cinema 4D is your true visualization tool. This is where you're going to finish. You're going to render out your animation. You're going to send it out to RenderMan. You're going to send it out to your advanced renderer, your physical renderer. This is where the pretty pictures are going to come out of, but Motionbuilder will allow you to be able to see quickly, easily, efficiently what your scene is going to look like prior, potentially what your scene is going to look like prior to actually investing the resources into 7-day render of a 20-minute episode. Alright, so in this chapter we went over the basic overview of pre-visualization, and what Motionbuilder is responsibility is in a pipeline, and how it helps Cinema 4D. In the next chapter, I'll be showing you how to initially use Motionbuilder to build up a BVH resource library, and to basically start getting some motions. Alright, see you in the next one.